Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. The biggest names in music. Oh, wow.
Big names, big songs, big guests, big prizes.
Well, it's a big show.
The Big Show.
Put your hands together for the one and only.
Glenn, Angel, FD, and Sean.
That's what I'm talking about.
OneFM 91.3. Good times, greatest hits.
Good. My microphone.
I
Thank you.
think it works better.
Good morning, Singapore. It's the Big Show with Glenn, Angel, FD, and Sean. We are also live on the Big Show TV, which is our Facebook page, 1FM 91.3. Our guest for this morning is the one, the only, Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room.
Good morning. How are you today, Jerry?
I am okay. I think so.
Your weekend was good? Or were you
The
working?
weekend was busy, but it was fulfilling. Yes.
Oh, that's good. That's always good.
Don't you ever take a day off?
I do in pockets, not a day, but pockets.
Oh, that's not taking a day off. That's taking a break.
Exactly.
How do you
But I
manage?
enjoy what I'm doing, so that's good.
Have you ever taken a few days off, like for a staycation with your family or anything of late? Since
During the whole pandemic? Not yet.
okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes.
Do it.
Very naughty, but yeah.
Well, she's not burned out, so she seems like she's fine.
I've got fantastic, friends, family, and there was a dip, but I came out nicely. They supported me, and we floated, and we cruised along, so that was good.
There you go. Good support system.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay, good support system.
All right, from here, I'm just going to remain silent. Because
Okay.
I think that's what we're talking about today with Dr. Geraldine Tan.
No,
Silence.
Not,
No?
cannot remain silent. We need to talk about silence so that people can sit with silence comfortably.
But isn't
Okay.
that always the problem? To talk or not to talk, when to talk and when to shut up?
I know, right? It's like, why, when? I don't know. I actually sometimes, to talk is an art. So I really respect all of you DJs. It's like you know what to talk about, when to say, what the right words are. It's amazing. And you need to give us all lessons very soon.
But sometimes we are also, asked to, not say too much.
Yeah.
If not,
And sometimes we are at a loss of words as well. It doesn't always come easily. We do think about what we're going to say, make sure that we say it correctly. But yeah, I guess for us at radio, we really have to think about what we say before we actually say it, which may not necessarily be when we're in person off air.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, especially these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially now. It's so
Everyone's so
difficult now.
sensitive. Yeah.
So, this is very relevant then. You talking about silence and whether it's okay or when we should be silent. How did this whole thing come about? I mean, why did you pick this topic today, Jerry?
I was having a session and with a client, and the client has depression, and we were bantering about to talk, not to talk, silence, but I don't like silence, and we went on for an entire hour about it. So I thought it was very relevant for many of us, because one of the things in psychology, and when we are taught as psychologists, right, is to be comfortable with silence. And you cannot imagine how many people are uncomfortable with silence, and the silence have so many different meanings for each one of us. But when we do our sessions, sometimes we have to be silent. And there are sessions, or there are clients that I sit with them for 3-4 sessions in total silence.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Because they just need to feel like someone's next to them. Is that what it is? Or
It could be a variety of things. It could be that a teen comes in and the teen is very resistant. So it is a power play.
I see.
okay. Right. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Or it could be someone that is grieving. and just needs that silence, just needs that space.
Okay.
But then, Jerry, even in a relationship, you get this, right? Where sometimes, especially with two people who are working, you come home from work and someone starts to talk. They don't need you to comment. They don't need you to try and solve their problem. They just need someone to talk to. They don't need a reaction from you.
Yes. Yes. So we have the 10 types of silence, and you can see which one it belongs to.
Wow. Okay. So let's talk about that
Sounds
on the
good.
Big Show TV. That'll be fun.
All right. Meantime, here's Snap with the power on 1FM 91.3. Good morning, Singapore. All right. Why don't we do 5 and then we go on air and we can tell the radio listeners what the 5 are. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
Big Show
okay.
TV 5 again and then go back on air.
up.
Back
Yeah.
on there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so first 5, Jerry.
Why do you look so naughty? But
Yeah.
Why do
He
you look
always
so
looks like that.
naughty?
Yeah.
lah, you're always naughty.
okay, I'll go with the first one, which is silence is power. Since Joel actually wrote on the Facebook last night, and he was talking about, the wife giving him the silent treatment. Yeah. I assume that I can say it since he put it on my public Facebook.
Yes, you can. It's there.
Sorry, Joel. Yeah. So silence is power. So silence sometimes is used to thumb somebody down, to put someone in place. I think the millennials like to say this word, ghosting. I
Yeah.
think it's also a silence
Ghosting.
of sorts, right? Because you don't reply someone and you ghost someone on text.
Yeah, it's rejection. It's basically that.
We learnt it from Sean, actually. Sean brought it
Yeah.
up sometime back.
Yeah,
Ghosting.
Because I've been ghosted, so
Ghosted. eh?
Silence is power. So what other power play do we have? So earlier I spoke about the teens, or so those clients that are dragged in and they don't want to talk, and they kind of challenge you, who's going to talk first. So that's also being powerful. Silence is chaos. That's the second one.
Wow.
Chaos.
Chaos.
How?
Because I would use one of the examples of an ADHD child, and he describes it very well. So something happened in school, and it was him and another friend, and they were asked to the in front of the teacher or in front of the principal, and they were told, "Please tell me the story." It was just, please tell me the story. The teacher wasn't scolding, nothing. And he could not. So the other person gave his version and he got punished. So by the time he came to me, he said, but I couldn't talk. I said, what happened in front of the teacher?
Yeah.
He said, my mind is just so jumbled up.
Okay.
Something happened and he didn't have time to process.
So it's chaotic in the mind, but quiet,
Chaotic in the mind.
orally
and-
quiet.
Yes, orally quiet and chaos. So the silence is very chaotic for him because he wants to talk, he can't talk. He wants to talk, but he can't talk. It also happens with a lot of ADHD children where sequencing maybe is quite difficult for them. So everything becomes a mess.
Wow. Okay.
So if we are not aware, then we take their silence as them rebelling. But actually, they're not rebelling. They're not trying to be naughty. They're trying to tell us, my mind is chaotic. Give me some time. But they cannot tell us.
So not quick thinking almost, right? Is that what it is?
It's messy. It's
Not
very,
not
very
being
messy.
able to prioritize which should be said first, and right. Okay.
Correct. Silence is communication.
This is number what already?
3.
Number 3. Okay.
Silence is communication or the lack of communication. Yep. So this one is quite straightforward. So we see that in many, many relationships when we don't articulate, or we don't share, and the silence creates a lot of misunderstanding.
So that's the silent treatment coming in, right? Kind of.
No, silence as a silent treatment is power. I have power
Right.
over you. The other one is a lot of conflicts, a lot of misunderstanding because you stay silent.
Because you have issues and you don't talk about them.
Yeah. if you're
Okay.
not-
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Then we should just make it fun, It's like while, two people are not talking, you just start signing.
Signing.
You know,
Signing?
like
Sign language?
Yeah, like maybe play charades. Maybe not signing because if you're not trained in signing, then how can
It
you
will
sign?
make no
right?
sense. Yeah.
But play charades as you guys give each other the cold treatment, the silent treatment. How about that? Maybe that'll break the silence.
You know what? You should do a little clip and show us how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was actually giving you an idea, Jerry.
She
Maybe-
just threw it. She just threw it right back to you.
Back to you, Glenn.
Because I was thinking like I'm giving you an idea, Jerry. The next time you deal with clients who don't want to talk to you, you should
And
just
she's
go,
like, "Great idea, Glenn. Show us how it's done."
No, but it is an idea. It is an idea. I think those doing psychodrama would pick that tip up very well, and probably we'll see something else coming out from it. Okay, number 4, silence is deafening.
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 So this one is interesting because for many of the clients with depression, silence is actually very deafening.
It's painful.
Yeah, especially at night. Where they will tell you the night is so difficult.
Yeah.
But they'll tell you the night is quiet. And you go like, what's all these conflicting sort of thoughts that are going through your head, right? But in the silence of the night, they hear a lot of their thoughts. And
Yes.
their thoughts are very negative.
Yep. Just like last night, 3:15 a.m. I woke up with like negative thoughts, feeling depressed and all that,
Because Liverpool lost.
Manchester United.
Because
That's true.
Manchester United
Yeah.
lost.
Because I'm
lost.
wondering why we're taking such a long time
Long
to
time.
fire the manager.
First world problems. It's like Glenn's football is keeping him awake.
I'm constantly checking my phone, Every
Oh
half an
my
hour, I'm
gosh.
checking my phone. My friends are
Wow.
also awake. My friend only just went to sleep this morning at like 2
10
hours ago. But everyone's updating each other on who's going to come in and take over the club.
Hardcore fanatics.
Okay, wait, go back on air, stand by.
Pink with Just Like a Pill right here on The Big Show, 1FM 91.3. Jerry, can you, prescribe like some pills to take if I'm feeling a bit depressed because of our major defeat, Man United losing to Liverpool over the weekend? I think I need a pill of some
No,
sort.
you don't. You need half a bottle of gin.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I tried that.
Hey.
Sorry, I'm just kidding. Jerry, good morning. We are speaking to Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room, and this morning we're talking about the different types of silence.
Yeah. So Dr. Jerry has 10 types of silence. We've gone through 4 on the Big Show TV. Power, chaos, communication or the lack of communication, and deafening silence. So you're about to introduce us to the 5th type of silence.
So the silence is respect.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So when we stay silent, so we know that when you watch soccer and there is a 1 minute of silence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we know the whole stadium just is quiet.
Quiet.
Right?
Yeah.
We are silent when we go to a place of respect. We don't make a lot of noise. So, being silent is also a sign of respect. So, which is why, I'm not sure in all the other cultures, but I know like in the Chinese culture, the little ones are supposed to stay silent in the presence of elders.
Be seen and not heard.
Yeah. Yep. So it is actually a sign of respect for the elders.
Okay. Okay, Jerry, for the benefit of the radio listener, can you just go through the first four very quickly?
Yes. So silence is power. In Joel did it, he highlighted the silent treatment of his wife.
From his wife, right?
Oh, dear.
Silence is chaos. Where if we take an ADHD mind, they're very, it might be very chaotic. They might not be able to tell this story on the spot. Silence is communication, or the lack of communication that creates a lot of conflicts later on.
So that's different from the silent treatment, right? This
Yes.
is not being able to communicate properly or not saying what's bothering you.
Yes, or not saying what's bothering you. That's it.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
Silence
Okay.
is deafening, and we were talking about depression and all the noise that comes out in your head when we think it is silent, but actually it is not silent at all. Silence is respect.
Okay.
Number 6, silence is awkward.
Awkward. Wow. Okay.
Awkward silence. But this is very interesting. So I always question, is it not having the right words? Because a lot of people say, I don't know the right words. I feel very paiseh, or I feel very embarrassed.
Yeah.
But maybe silence is just silence. It's okay to be silent, right? But perceiving that you need to talk, that's creating the awkwardness. So that self-talk of I need to talk.
Fill up the time.
Yeah. And pushing yourself to talk, right? Yeah.
I think-
That is
I think this is a couple, thing, and I just want to encourage all couples out there, to do away with this whole silent treatment, because it does,
does
no
nothing.
one any good.
No,
Because the
it
moment,
doesn't.
for example, one side kind of engages or doesn't engage, okay, and gives the other the silent treatment, what happens is, that person doesn't feel good. Then that person feels angry. And then, it does nothing, for,
things
for the
start to
situation.
fester, yeah.
Exactly. And then things from the past come about, when eventually you do start talking to each other, it's a huge argument,
Yeah.
so why, right? It's
A lot
better
of
to
blame.
Just, it's better to just work things out, right, Jerry? I don't mean to take your job or to do your job,
you
but
got stuck right at number 1. I wonder why.
because we're going back, on the Big Show
Weekday.
TV in a while. That's why. Yes, FD.
I think I just want to follow up on Glenn's thing, and something that couples need to understand. Tell me if I'm right or wrong, Jerry. That silent treatment can become habitual. Every time you have a problem, you just shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a problem with you. You did this wrong. I'm just going to keep quiet. It becomes habitual. It becomes your way of dealing with a problem.
Yeah.
And
Am I
living
right?
as well. And your way of
frustrating.
living. Yeah.
FD, you're absolutely right, because in couple work that we do a lot, and we get that a lot with the men actually, because nothing they do is right, nothing they say is right, so they just keep quiet, and
Yeah.
they live like that for many years, because
Yeah.
they go, oh, even if I say anything, it's going to be wrong, so I just shut up and
Yeah.
not say anything.
You see this more in the men than the women.
Yeah,
because-
so they articulate that when they're in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
that's
the
true.
men don't want to what do you call, irritate the women, you see.
Yeah.
But equally, right? I mean, equally for women
But-
not wanting to irritate
But
the
I think
husband as well.
there are some women who are a little bit more sensitive. So you got to be very careful what you say. If not, it's just going to trigger something
A reaction.
in them, right? So I think some men are so afraid that they might trigger a
that,
reaction from
Yeah.
their other halves, so they just keep quiet to avoid any trouble, and that's not healthy in the long run.
I think
No.
what happens with the men is they keep quiet and they don't do anything else. But the women, they keep quiet, but they totter around the house. They do a lot of other behaviors, or they would, continue with their household tasks. Yeah. So, well, they both genders, approach silence differently.
Okay.
Okay, we continue to talk to Dr. Geraldine Tan from the Therapy Room on the Big Show TV, which is our Facebook page, 1FM 91.3. Meantime, here's Shawn Mendes with Mercy on 1FM 91.3.
Okie dokes.
Okay, so we have number 6 was
7.
awkward. What's number 7?
Number 7, you would like this. Silence is caring.
Oh.
Yeah, so we talked about like the power, we talked about the awkwardness, but now silence is caring. So it's just being present. So
Okay.
in that quiet, sometimes it is the most comfortable and peaceful space shared between two people. And that's okay.
So this is what you sometimes go through your sessions where it's just sitting there and not speaking.
Yeah, especially if they're grieving.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
words needed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you say to soothe, or to provide that balm, right? So
True.
we just be silent, because that's more than enough sometimes.
Okay.
That's very true.
All right, number 8.
Silence is avoidance.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes, I don't want to talk about it. Don't ask me anymore. Can you just please shut up?
Yeah.
Or it can be trauma. Sometimes one of the young men that I see, for the longest time he could not speak of something, and I don't know why. So he had selective mutism, but now he's chatting a lot more. I think what really helped him was I was asking all the wrong questions, I think, but when the RV case came up, so I simply asked him to share, about how he felt. Then he shared how he was so severely bullied.
Okay.
Oh, right.
And went through something almost similar.
I think for those people who have forgotten, RV is the whole River Valley
the
murder
school
case,
incident.
yeah.
Okay.
So for him, there was a lot of avoidance, a lot of I don't want to go there. I hope and pray that you never touch that topic. And when he finally spoke about it, it was, I mean, he's not a huge conversationalist, so he's not chatty, but he started to speak a lot more.
Was he a teen? Was he young? Fairly young?
So early 20s.
Okay.
Yes. And then number 9, silence is listening. And we did that with the honest cookies.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
I have a few more. I have a few more here.
Which we still haven't got any of, but it's okay. Glenn's eaten them all.
No. I've
Keeping them from you. For you.
From right?
I want to break a few later.
We'll break a few.
Yes, so active listening. So when we listen with our eyes, our ears, and our hearts. And silence is thinking. That's the last one. Number 10, silence is thinking. And it's time for reflection. It's time for, pondering, but not overthinking. So we need to be silent.
What about the other silence? You didn't cover this silence where, a couple who are together, let's say out for dinner and all that, and both couples are on their phones.
Oh,
That kind of
That's
silence.
avoidance. That's avoidance.
Disrespectful silence.
Actually, sometimes for some couples, they don't feel it's disrespectful.
Yeah.
They don't feel like they're doing anything
Because they're
wrong,
both on it. Yeah. It's awful. I've seen them go through whole
It's
dinners
awful
and
for
they're
us to look at them like that, but it is absolutely fine with them.
with them, yeah.
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 that is not silence, because they're very busy. with their phones. They are very noisy with their phones. So in their mind, it is not silent at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Or some-
And there's no lack of communication for them at all. It's just what they like
No.
doing.
So
Jerry, where do I put this? I've been listening to you, and there are 2 silences that I can't put in your list of 10. Silence because I fear being judged.
That's what we said just now, right?
Where does that go?
So the silence, right?
Judged by who, though?
Is that the communication? part?
By society, I'm silent.
Okay.
I because people will judge me.
Oh, okay.
So that's when they are silent, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it could be avoidance. It could be a lot of thinking, but that's not silent at all because the brain is actually
Still working.
very
It's still
noisy.
so noisy.
So actually, if you look at silence and what we discussed, right?
Yeah.
Nothing is silent.
Yeah, nothing
Because-
is.
Everything has a meaning and everything has noise in it.
Yeah.
So if I'm thinking I'm going to be judged, or how is that person going to perceive me? I'm silent. My brain is
Brain
not
is not.
silent. You know, I'm hearing a lot of chatter in my ear. So that is a lot of times how people with anxiety, depression, it escalates in the silence of their minds. Yeah, and it just plays out and amplifies in their ears and their head.
Okay. Is that why you don't ask questions during meetings, FD?
No. because to me, one of the most important silences is peace. It is just sitting there, and I don't know whether you can. I'm sure Jerry will understand this. Sitting there and just being.
I was going to say silence is internal as well,
It's just-
right?
it's
that
just
would be your meditation.
Being.
Yeah.
It's nothing more than just being.
I think this comes with age, FD. I don't mean to say this because of... No. I'm saying it because of myself as well. I feel like I was a lot noisier when I was younger.
Yeah.
These days, I'm very silent. You know, even
He's
during meetings as well, you know?
He's absolutely right. I never felt this silence of being when I was young.
Yeah, when you
I think you're
when I
more
was younger,
content
couldn't
as you
shut
grow
me up.
older, maybe. I don't know. Is it being more content as you get older?
Or you feel like
acquire more knowledge, you acquire more.
You feel like you
understanding.
don't need to say so much to
No.
have yourself heard or have yourself understood. It doesn't really matter to others.
Yeah.
or you feel
More
like if
to
you,
you.
Well,
even
I
if
don't
you
know whether it
say-
doesn't matter to others. It doesn't matter,
Matter
to
to
me.
yourself, yeah. You don't care what other people think, and that's why
Yeah.
you feel like you don't have to say anything.
Yeah,
Well, they say a wise man listens, right?
There you go. We're all wise. There you go. We'll all just shut up from now on.
Yeah. Just like these days when my wife says I love you, I'll just go like, show me.
Ah,
Oh,
That's it. 2 words. That's it.
Yeah, let me tell you, that
No
doesn't
need to
change
talk
when
so
you
much.
reach 65 either.
oh yes, then we go to traffic. And back on air.
OneFM 91.3 traffic.
Usual delays across the expressways this morning. We don't see too many areas that are going to cause you problems, and that's good news. Just the PIE towards Tuas, an accident after Eng Neo Avenue. Congestion is to Eng Neo Avenue, just avoid lane 1. And again on the PIE towards Changi, a vehicle broken down after Lorney Road. Stay within the speed limit. Have everyone buckled up. Be safe as you drive today.
Good morning, Singapore. You're tuned in to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for today and every Tuesday is Dr. Geraldine Tan from the Therapy Room. Good morning once again, Jerry.
Good morning.
good morning, Dr. Jerry. So today, Dr. Jerry, we're talking about the 10 different types of silence. And on the Big Show TV, you picked up with caring, avoidance, listening, as well as thinking. Can you run us through those 4 again, please?
I love it. Every time Angel would just write everything.
Write everything down, yeah.
Yeah, I know. So old-fashioned, right? With the book, you know, she's like jotting things down.
Today, no book. I'm using my computer, but same
Oh,
thing.
but you know what? There are a lot, actually, there are many, many ladies, right, who actually carry, what do you call those things? Diaries? No?
A notebook. A notebook. It's a notebook. Yeah.
And they still
Journal,
actually
yeah.
write.
Yeah.
You know why?
And I don't understand that.
I remember
Okay.
more.
Let me
when I write.
explain to you. It's been scientifically proven. If you write something down, your chances of remembering it are higher.
Yes, they are.
No, lah, that's
Yes,
not
they
yes.
are. They are.
Scientifically
I type
proven,
things
right?
out,
It
I can
is.
still remember.
No, you know that sometimes when I'm trying to recall stuff that I've written down, I can actually still visualize my pen to paper and what
yes.
and how I wrote the words.
But you guys are Android users. Don't you guys have like some kind of pen?
No.
that
Stylus, a stylus.
Yeah,
No
correct. That's what
stylus,
it's called,
no.
a stylus.
Don't you like Apple users also have styluses if you wanted
No,
to?
we don't.
We have the Apple Pencil.
Yes,
Wait,
it's
Wait,
stylus.
but do we
Back
have
to
something like that?
silence,
We have,
back
we
to
have.
Yeah,
silence.
you do.
It's called an Apple Pencil.
Okay, okay.
We
hello.
have an Apple
Silence.
pencil. There's such a pencil. Okay.
$99.
No, silence.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. We have an Apple pencil.
We have it here. $99.
First time I'm hearing about it.
There
Sorry.
you go.
Yeah. Okay, Jerry. Go ahead. You are at number 5 now. Or?
6.
Six.
I think.
Okay. Yeah.
No, 7. Carry.
7.
I
Okay.
have to
I thought finish
repeat
it.
everything, right?
Yes,
Oh, wait.
from caring,
Just
from
caring,
caring.
just caring.
That's what I
Okay.
meant.
Silence is caring, so being present, and we can care for each other now by just being a little bit silent, pen, Android or otherwise. Silence is avoidance. Sometimes we see that in people that don't want to talk about certain topics. The more severe one would be those with trauma. Sometimes it takes a lot from them to talk about it. So silence is avoidance. Silence is listening. So active listening. Silence is thinking. Like the wise man that thinks and not speaks. I've got a bonus one actually. So
Oh,
okay.
Dylan is on with us.
Yes.
Silence is trouble. I don't mean
Thank God.
Yes, that's what she means.
He
It
just
is.
called you trouble,
She
Julian.
said, she
You
said.
trouble, Julian.
She's talking bad
I
about
know,
you just
man.
now.
I know.
No. But parents would really identify with this.
Oh, yes.
You know, when you hear a lot of like fighting and the Lego being thrown everywhere,
And then all goes quiet.
and then you suddenly go, okay, I think it's time to check on them. You know, what naughty things are they going to do now?
Did
Yeah.
Sounds
someone
like a-
fall
sounds like a
over
daily-
and faint?
Sounds like a daily affair for me, man.
I know it. That's why I wanted to keep the bonus until you came on. You would definitely resonate with that. Yeah, so silence is trouble sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. Any last
Silence
words?
is golden, golden. So you know, I mean, with
I
that
could
song,
never understand why is it golden. but
exactly.
okay.
So I think
It is.
meaning it's good, right?
Yes, because silence in your mind is so rare that
It's
if you
very
ever
hard to
get
achieve.
it,
Yeah.
it's gold. It's gold
Yeah.
to just sit there with no cares, no worries. You know,
And zero
it's-
thoughts,
Zero
right?
thoughts.
Nothing running around in your
my
mind.
God.
Everything's at
Just-
peace.
I
It's
remember
golden.
this sign, silence is golden, everywhere in my primary school.
In the libraries.
Yeah.
St. Stephen's School. You know,
Yeah.
down the stairwell, you see a sign down there, silence is golden.
It's basically their
In the
polite way of saying shut,
Shut
up.
up. Because kids are so noisy, right?
Okay, quick one for those that want to deal with someone in depression. Check in with them, be with them. So we pick up on silence is caring, silence is listening for them, just being there with them. And I want to end with another part of silence, right? By one of the geniuses, which is Albert Einstein. The monotony and the solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind. So if you want your children to be creative, or if you want to be creative, let's follow FD and stay silent.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna
Children, keep quiet.
Stay, I'm not gonna stay silent right now. Just gonna ask you something, Jerry. Can I see you now? I need to see you. I'm so
never give up.
Years,
Yeah.
you're still at it.
yeah, but
Oh
I'm
my
At
God.
least he's consistent.
yeah. I mean, I'm depressed. I'm more depressed now than ever, especially after this weekend. You know, so maybe 1 or 2 sessions. Come on, Jerry.
We'll go for cooking sessions.
Oh, there you go.
Okay,
I
maybe
mean, she doesn't
better.
charge you for the advice. You should take it.
Maybe
right.
that'll help. Okay, Jerry, thank you so much for joining us.
No worries.
Have a
See
wonderful
you.
week ahead.
Bye, Jerry.
See you, Jerry.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Julian.
See you.
And we have Julian Koh on the show right now. Just very quickly, I do believe we're talking about the new rules that have been created for cyclists.
Yes. It's. I think it's for the best.
Really? I've been speaking
I
to a
think
few
it's for the best.
cyclists. I don't think they're for it. But anyway, let's talk about that a little bit more on The Big Show TV. In the meantime, here's Roxette with Dangerous on The Big Show, 1FM 91.3. Good morning, Singapore.
And we're back. Okay.
Okay.
I cannot believe Man U would lose to Liverpool 5-0.
Oh my God!
Oh,
Not
yesterday-
just
Oh,
that.
thank you very much. Thank you very much.
It was a triple.
Five.
It was a triple blow. Nothing went well for me over the weekend. India lost to Pakistan, and then after that, Lewis Hamilton, lost to Max Verstappen. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable, man. I couldn't believe it. When I went to the gym in the morning, everyone was talking about it.
You know something that's come out that's quite interesting from that game?
What?
Mo Salah is the first person to score a hat-trick against United at Old Trafford.
Yep.
First
It's
ever.
never been done before.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I'm thinking, surely it happened somewhere in history.
Yeah, no, never.
Actually,
Apparently not.
I like Mo Salah. I mean, I think he's awesome and all that. He just needs
I
to
think
do
he's got
something.
character.
He just needs to do something to his stupid hairstyle. That's all.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, Ferguson.
That's our man.
There you
Yeah.
go.
That's our man. It's
There you
happening.
go.
And
It's
Conte.
happening.
Yeah.
Man, what a disappointing weekend. But yes, yeah.
Oh,
I
getting back
digress.
to cyclists.
Bicycles.
To the more important stuff now.
Yeah.
Yes, so there are new ruling fines now for errant road cyclists. And I think I can understand completely where you're coming from, Glenn. I mean, you've spoken to a couple of cyclists. I think none of them would actually be for this. And it's very normal to feel that way. I mean, a couple of years ago when TP decided to up the fine and the point system for drivers who speed and beat the lights, I wasn't for it as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't for it, but I think it's for the best.
Yeah.
It's not just for our safety, it's for the cyclists' safety as well.
Wouldn't
I
it
mean,
be
it's
just-
not really putting them out of business in that aspect, right? It's just
Yeah.
keeping the roads safer and keeping them safer as well.
Exactly. I think it's an accumulation of things. You know what I mean? Like for the past couple of years, all we hear about is how cyclists have been really reckless, have been really inconsiderate to the point. I mean, when I say inconsiderate, I mean like they're not wrong because they have the right of way. But I think sometimes when drivers start to honk at them from the back, they tend to get offended. But I
Yeah.
think some of the drivers, they honk at them because they want to
Warn them.
let them
Let them know,
that
let them
I'm
know.
I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah.
Or maybe because you're swerving in and out. And the car doesn't have space to move 1.5 meters away or 1 meter away from them. They tend to give a slight honk.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, you see. I don't know how to give a slight honk.
I know, right?
You give a solid honk.
You just
Yeah,
honk.
I don't know what a slight honk is.
I think
Yeah.
it's like, I think
And different cars have different types of honks, right?
Yeah.
So
So
I know.
maybe they should have a bicycle honk in cars now. It's like a,
Like a bell, like cring, cring,
Like a
cring,
little-
cring.
And some people modify their honks,
Horns?
right?
Oh,
So it
no.
becomes very aggressive sounding, and sometimes
Yeah.
it scares the cyclist. You see,
Yes.
Yeah.
So that
Yes.
creates that anger after.
Yeah.
Because I feel the same way too. I feel the same way because in my mind is if I'm blocking someone, for instance, or when I'm driving, of course, or when I'm maybe doing something I shouldn't be doing, or if I'm hogging the road, just high beam me. Just give me
Yeah.
a high beam.
but you
Don't
can't see
horn.
that during the day, really, can you?
Yeah,
the
I
high
don't
beam,
think-
you
but I mean,
can't.
you can see from your rear view mirror that someone is actually, but that's me. I will take notice of all these kinds of stuff.
Do all
But if
bicycles have rear view mirrors?
No, unfortunately
No.
not.
There you go.
It's very interesting that we talk this because if you've ever been to India, you will notice that even in Indian movies, if there are pictures of the roads, do you notice how the horns are always blaring?
Yeah.
Oh, always.
know-
They talk to each other with the horns
Do you
Yeah.
know why?
because
The
they're speaking
horns are used to let you know I'm there
to
Yes.
communicate. Yes,
all the time. It's a communication tool.
Yeah.
it's 24/7. So much so that even if they
Yeah.
have nothing to say, they're horning as well. It's, ridiculous.
It's actually okay, but it needs to be part of the culture. Unfortunately, here in Singapore, it's not the
not.
culture. If you honk, you're being rude. You're being
Yeah.
aggressive. You know,
Yeah.
Gonna fight.
I just want to say that I really do think that that the Mercedes Benzes have like the friendliest sounding honks.
Oh, really?
Really?
I'm serious. You know,
Is it like a little operatic music or
No,
what?
but it's not aggressive sounding. You know,
Yeah.
I really do think that it really depends on your honk, right?
I feel there should be different types of honks. Now that we're speaking about it, something a little bit softer for something nearby where it's not so aggressive, and then something like really aggressive for like danger zones.
My
Remember the
car's
old-
honk
yeah.
is horrible.
Is that right?
It's just
Aggressive?
horrible. It's very aggressive, and I don't have a light hand because I don't know how to. I just don't know how to do it.
It's because you
And
go to
when I
the
just-
gym every morning. That's why. Very
and I just
strong.
let go. I mean, I'm gonna offend someone, so I don't usually use my honk. To be honest, I only use the high beam when it's necessary.
High beam.
Yeah, honks to me I only use for emergency cases.
Right.
Like,
But then
like
the
to warn people.
cyclists are not going to see you with the high beam.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
okay, in all honesty, in all my years of driving, I've never had any problems with cyclists because I am all for sharing.
Yes.
I'm all for sharing. Just all of us, we just need to play our roles on the road. We just
Yes.
have to be responsible, and that's perfectly fine. We'll be able to live in harmony, no issue.
Yeah,
That
me,
is
me
true,
too.
yeah.
I've never had problems with cyclists, but I dread the day that I do experience something
Yes.
bad because many people, right? They judge it based on that one experience.
Yeah.
I know of many people who say, I hate the cyclists. I hate them. I hate what they're
Yeah.
doing on the roads and all that. But they've only had one bad experience with a cyclist, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden they've stereotyped everyone.
Yeah, yeah. And there are more bicycles on the roads now, especially because more people have bought bicycles because of COVID and everything else.
Yeah.
They're exercising. So I'm still for, though, all of them should go through at least some theory of road rules and stuff like that.
You know
I
what
feel.
everyone is saying right now? That's because you don't cycle on the roads, Angel.
No, I don't. I don't cycle on the roads because I feel there's no space for a bicycle on the roads unless
I
there.
wouldn't. Yeah.
I
wouldn't-
would never cycle on the roads
I'd
ever.
be scared to.
Yeah.
But you see, that's the thing. It's because we don't have enough cycling paths
Yes.
in Singapore
Yeah.
for them.
Yes.
It's not like Amsterdam where everyone's cycling. You've got specific
Lanes for them. Yeah.
lanes
Yes.
for the cyclists. We don't have it in Singapore, unfortunately.
How
Government
difficult do you
yeah.
think it is to implement that here in Singapore?
Why got
Julian?
space?
Space is already an issue.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
space.
you'd
But
never
But
be
you know
able to
what?
get it.
This is exactly what the cyclists are saying right now. Okay.
Yeah.
They are saying, these rules are being drawn up by people who don't even cycle.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how fair is that? If you want to experience what we are experiencing,
Get on
then
the roads.
Get on the roads.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. And implement whatever it is based on your experience.
That is
because
true.
Then you'll know
Yes.
what it's like, right?
Yes. No,
I
so you
completely agree
can't
with
blame
you.
them.
Because they're all in their
completely agree
cars
with you.
driving around going, oh, that cyclist shouldn't do that. That guy
Yeah.
shouldn't do that. And let's
Yeah.
write a rule.
And for example, we're talking about honking, right? I mean, how many of us get offended when someone honks us while we are in our cars?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right? Can you
Yeah.
imagine they're out there,
Yeah.
right? I mean, every
Yeah.
time I
That is
hear a
true.
honk, I go, "Simisai," right? Straight up.
Okay, back on
Okay,
air.
we're going to go back on air.
3, 2.
The Killers with Human right here on 1FM 91.3. You're tuned into The Big Show. And our second guest for this morning is the one and only editor from SG Carmart, Julian Koh. Good morning, Julian.
Good morning. Good morning. I love the Killers. I love the Killers.
Yeah, that's a great
Awesome,
song.
right?
I like
Yeah.
that
Oh,
song.
love
man. Were you there when they performed here at the F1 night race?
F1. Okay, see, I missed that. I was overseas. I was out of the country for a test drive, and I was so angry with myself. Had I known the lineup, I would have just rejected the trip altogether. But yes,
Well, that's
Okay.
a true fan. You rejected test drive.
yeah,
Okay.
yes. I think the Killers is probably one of the best bands thus far.
It was
Hey,
one
Julian,
of the best concerts.
I know
definitely.
we're speaking about the cyclists and their new rules, but speaking about the F1 as well, what's the news on that? I mean, it's on the calendar. Is it back next year?
I can't say, man. I can't say.
You can't or you won't?
Because anything could happen. This is like
Yeah.
COE. Now, COVID is like COE. It can go up, it can go down. I mean, you don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? So yeah, I can't confirm. I hope it happens. In all
Yeah.
honesty, I
Right.
think
Yeah.
we need some motorsports in Singapore.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, with the number of cases right now. But then again, I mean, we're talking like a year.
October next year,
You
yeah.
know, so we've got time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that
the
was what we
pandemic
said
has
last year.
time to take care of itself, right? Let's hope.
And you know,
That was what we said last year, and now we're still in square one.
speaking of COEs, up, down, and all that, it's at its highest
Yeah.
right now.
It's crazy.
1,600
crazy.
cc and above. It's like what, 80K?
80 grand or
80,000.
something, yeah.
There goes my Toyota Crown, right?
Yeah, right out the window, right there.
But
yeah.
what goes up must come down, right?
I hope, but I honestly, I predict that the COE will go all the way up till
100.
January 2023, or probably somewhere in the third quarter of
Yeah.
2022.
2023.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a 10 year cycle.
Oh, right, okay.
So when COVID starts easing off and economy starts rising, people have got more money to spend. They're more comfortable, more confident. They'll continue to buy. In 2022, will drive the prices up. Tesla's registration isn't helping, but I can completely
Yeah.
understand that. I think
Yeah.
that's fine. As a newcomer, I think they want to be aggressive. I think that's a very fair game to play. But yeah, because it was at its highest in 2013 January. So a 10-year cycle would somewhere be in about 2023
23.
January.
Okay.
But it never hit 100K. I think it's gonna.
What was
gonna
the
hit
highest,
100K,
though?
man.
It was 90-ish.
90.
Then in
Wow.
2013. It's already 80 now. We've got
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
couple more years to go. So I don't know, man. It might
really
just hit
weird.
the 100K mark.
It's just mind blowing, right?
Oh my
So-
goodness.
see, that's why people are cycling, because they can't afford a car. Right? I can't afford a car.
You
I
think
can't
about
afford a car.
Change one.
Anybody wanting to buy a car these days, you think 3 times.
But I've seen I mean, having said that, there is still a lot of cars out there, and there are a lot of fancy cars out
Yeah.
there. I mean, the amount of Rolls Royces and supercars that I've
Yeah.
seen on the roads is unprecedented at any other time. Everywhere, not even in the city. You're seeing
you
it
know-
in the suburbs as well.
I just saw a Rolls Royce Cullinan over the weekend.
What is
There you go.
What is that?
Turquoise color. It's an SUV, Rolls Royce SUV.
SUV.
Okay.
Yep, there
Yeah.
you go.
I
yeah.
couldn't believe
Believe it.
that.
I couldn't believe it. I just looked at it and go, who buys this, man? I
New
mean,
money,
where-
new
yeah,
money.
Where did you get the money from?
Yeah.
I was just
New
repeat-
citizens.
I was just reading a report that with the pandemic, the rich have just gotten richer
Yeah.
globally.
That
The
is,
rich have
yeah,
gotten
and we
richer.
have a lot more new people in town,
Yeah,
so that's where the money is coming from. But anyway, we're talking about cyclists, not Rolls Royces. So
I don't see myself getting richer, man. So yeah. And I
Yeah.
can feel the pinch for the cyclists, because right now the ruling just doubled for them. They've got to pay
Yeah.
double the fine. It's ridiculous. Errant cyclists will now be fined $150 instead of 75 if they flout traffic rules, of course. And I think this will definitely make them angry. They'll be, man. If I were them, I'll be angry too. You know what I mean? But like I said, I think it's for their safety. It's for our safety. It's for everyone.
But who's
on the
going to
road.
catch them, though? That's my question. Who's going to catch them?
Your traffic
so-
police.
Yeah,
Anybody,
so
yeah.
They're hardly
Traffic
around,
police.
my goodness.
yeah, but you can also have citizens like taking photos of them and sending it in and stuff like that.
No
these busy
one's
boys,
gonna
But
do
you know,
that.
how you want to catch
You'll
a
be
bicycle after that?
surprised, yeah.
But the
don't know
LTA
license
will be
plate
taking
number.
action as well.
LTA.
Yeah,
But I
so
mean, when
then
you talk
just
about
what-
breaking rules, it's just literally like not stopping at your red lights, which happens to drivers as well, or riding
Yeah.
abreast of another cyclist on single lane roads, right? And expressways, which should be done anyway. So I don't see the matter of the fine. As long as you don't break it, you're fine.
I don't see how raising the fine is going to keep a cyclist safe. I think they've done it right. They've said, groups of 5, groups of 10, whatever it may be. That grouping is designed to make them safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fine,
It's just there.
Let me
just don't break it.
Let me just tell you what's going to happen, okay? With all these fines and all that, right? Many people are going to start cycling on the cycling paths, or not not the cycling paths, but the footpaths.
pavement, the footpaths,
all right,
yeah.
and start knocking people over.
well, this
Yeah.
this was me yesterday walking to the supermarket, right? I needed to pick up some rabbit food. I'm going to the supermarket. This guy comes by, and I always walk on the left. It's I follow the same
The
way
rules.
a car would drive, right? Road rules. That's how I walk. And this guy comes past me fast, and I didn't hear him at all. He's on a bicycle, right? And because he just missed me, the language that came out of his mouth,
Oh my god.
holy smoke! And
He came from behind you.
He came from behind
And
me.
he
number
scolded
one.
you.
Yeah, number one. And I'm walking on a 5-foot way, and right next to me is the park connector.
Oh, really?
Hello.
What are the rules about bicycles on pavements, though? They're not allowed, right? On footpaths?
You are still allowed,
Okay.
but I think it's
Yeah.
up to something like a certain size or something
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, my goodness.
Normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, as long as you're aware of your surroundings and you look after the people around you, you don't hit anyone, you're fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
but
as
in
far
this
as I was-
case,
The guy missed me. There was no need for that language.
what did he say? What did he say? Come on, tell
We're
us.
on air. Maybe go off air. then you tell us.
No, you're not.
Oh, I know exactly what he said.
Yeah.
That's just crazy, man. You should be the one
I
scolding
should have
him.
been the one.
Right.
But
Exactly.
I said, okay, it's a 5-foot way. It's not the widest thing in the world. He went past. It was okay. Nobody got hurt. Why are you cursing me?
Yeah, no, he wasn't cursing you. It was either your mom or your dad.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
Throw a mango at him every day.
Okay, we're talking to Gillian Koh, editor of SG Carmart. We'll continue to talk to him on The Big Show TV. Meantime, here's Air Supply. I Can Wait Forever on The Big Show, 1FM 91.3.
Okay, we're wrapping up here.
Okay. So what's the solution, you think? I mean, so wait, let's take a vote here. Are we all okay with these new rules and the fines for
I'm
the
not
cyclists?
okay with the
I
fine.
say no
No.
point.
You're not okay with the fines?
No. I
Why?
think the fine should stay.
Wait,
The
what?
fines are not going to save anybody's life. I think the rules about how you can ride in groups and stuff, that's great. Enforce that to keep your cyclists safe.
But what do you mean the fines are, you're
Yeah.
not?
Increasing the
fines are-
fine
don't have
ain't
to
going to
increase.
save nobody's life.
No, but that's in addition to the new rules.
Yeah, yeah. I'm fine with the new rules, just not with the fine.
Oh.
I think the fine could
Like-
have stayed at $75.
Yeah, as in don't have to
Oh, right.
increase,
You're going to
don't
say
have
it's
to increase.
inconsequential, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Unless it's like
inconsequential, you know,
$1,000, then
it didn't
Yeah.
need to happen.
it's too little a raise, maybe. I mean, if they wanted to make it impact, I mean, double is nothing.
Like
It's
maybe
$150.
$500. How about
Yeah,
that?
something like that. Oh,
No, leave it at $75. Let's find ways of keeping cyclists safe
despite how
without
much the fine
hitting
is.
someone's pocket. Come on,
Okay,
we
so
don't
no,
always.
But then they know that if they hit the pocket,
Yeah.
people will tend to stick to the rules. That's what it's supposed to be. Singaporeans are like that, especially, you know?
Julian,
You know,
what do you
we
think?
need to- then
It's,
we need
it's
to
the
change the
same. I
mindset.
think it's the same concept as putting on your mask, or you'll get fined. It's for your safety. It's for your own good. It's for the good of other people
Other
around
people,
you. And if you don't put on your mask, you'll be fine. And that's why everyone
Okay,
is
good
just
point.
putting on their mask.
Yeah.
But
point.
I just think, and I hope it never happens. It never happens. But all it takes is a couple of incidents, bad
Yeah,
incidents
bad
to
incident.
happen to cyclists or even pedestrians and drivers, and involving cyclists, and these rules will start to become even more harsher.
Tighter, yeah.
Yes, it'll be harsher than what it already is. So I think it sort of feels like the Ministry of Transport and whatnot and all the government rulings, they are just trying to say, you know what, I'm just going to put it at $150. You guys, I know you guys can afford $150 because you are paying like $8,000 for your bike.
For your bike, yeah.
Right? You can afford the 150, but the fine is, by my standards, still inconsequential. I think that's what the government is thinking. But as to find ways to sort of make cyclists safer, I think it's an ongoing thing. It's really an ongoing thing because this isn't just about building infrastructure and creating space for them to be safer. It's also about educating drivers. It's also about educating pedestrians. Because we play a part. I got to be honest, I think drivers play a part because I've seen lorries, and I don't mean like big trucks. I mean like just lorries who are just reckless.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they are still reckless whether or not cyclists are there. And and I've seen it with my own eyes how reckless they can be with cyclists near them.
Yeah, and over the
I
years, I mean,
feel-
they have killed so many cyclists over the years.
Well, all sorts of vehicles have, yeah. But
No,
I disagree.
especially
The lorries?
the lorries.
Yeah.
You know, I disagree with the fact that we don't have space on the roads to have bicycle paths because we're constantly widening our roads. constantly. If there's no space, they will take up someone's garden or break someone's house down to get bigger spaces. So what is the difference between putting a half lane just for cyclists on the roads?
Because despite having zero growth of cars, we still have a lot more cars than bicycles on the road, and that's why the ratio needs to be some 3:1, or
Is
four
it? Is
to
that
one?
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But of course, they're
okay.
building roads at places where there are no cars, and of course they still meet the criteria, if you ask me.
You know,
Right.
I,
Yeah.
I,
yeah.
I wouldn't want to be LTA at this point because I mean, obviously, someone wants to please the rest of the population, right?
You can't do right. Yeah.
And you know, I've seen the situation. I mean, obviously there are morons, right? For I mean, cyclists who are morons, and there
And
are also
drivers as
drivers
well,
who are
yeah.
morons as well. So
Yeah.
Yes.
so living in a world of morons when it comes to you know, driving as well as cycling. You know, I was at East Coast Parkway. You know, that's the place where I learned to cycle.
Yeah.
When I was
Yeah.
when I was in primary school, right? And now when you go over there, you see many young kids learning how to cycle. They're rollerblading and stuff like that. And when I was there, I was shocked because although we had all these kids, you know, who were being supervised by their parents, you know, walking down that whole stretch, you know, and there are two stretches, right? One for cycling and one for walking.
Yes.
Right?
Walking
but of
and
course,
running, yeah.
everyone's everywhere, right?
Yeah.
You know, you get these seasoned cyclists coming down from the Marina Bay side,
Yeah.
you know, and
Right.
there's this ramp now.
Yeah.
Cycling
Right,
at
where-
speeds.
where-
Yeah.
Cycling at breakneck speeds.
Yeah.
Crazy,
Yeah.
man. That's insane, man.
They have no regard for anyone.
Yeah, how can that be, right? I mean, how can there be rules on the roads and no rules there at East Coast Parkway?
Yeah,
Because one of these
yeah.
days, these morons are going to come down at high speeds and just roll over a kid.
Yeah, and these are professional bikes. Some of them have those thick, like mountain biking tires as well. They almost look like motorbikes. They're
I don't know if
huge.
they actually realize the
Big wheels.
impact that they have when you knock into someone
Yeah.
Yeah.
from a bicycle.
Yeah.
It can break a bone. It can break
Right.
bones.
Yeah, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It can break bones. So I think it's you need a lot of education, a lot of
I think it's
awareness.
ignorance. Yeah, it's pure ignorance.
And it's just I find it really hard. That's why I always tell people, you know what, just share the roads.
You know what we need to
Just
do? We
share the
need to
road.
get these bicycles to the road safety park. Do you remember the road safety park?
It's still there, but you
It's
know,
still there.
nothing is
They're not
happening.
we put the bicycles there, learn how to stop at a red light, learn how to cycle and properly. That's how we learn how to cross roads. They should learn as well. Learn
I
blind
think,
spots.
I think there are some bad cyclists on the road, but
Yeah.
it doesn't mean all cyclists.
No.
are like this.
Exactly.
No,
You know,
not all. Not
a
all.
bad apple doesn't, it shouldn't spoil the whole bunch. That's what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say.
And
But it will be one bad apple that spoils it for everyone.
yeah.
yeah.
One bad accident that
Yeah.
makes the news will spoil it for everybody else.
That is the
Yeah.
case. That is always the case. But I do hope it never happens. I do hope it never happens because I never cycle. I mean, as in I know how to cycle, but I just don't have the interest to cycle and all, on the path and whatnot. I have never had a bad encounter with any cyclist because I always make sure that I give them enough space and I avoid getting into any altercation with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But-
Altercation.
Yeah, but still, I mean, I have a lot of friends who cycle, including colleagues, on a daily basis, and I'm talking like 10 clicks sort of thing from like their place to Marina Bay and Marina Bay one loop, and they come down. And I just I can't do this.
10 is
man.
very
No
10
way.
click is nothing, yeah.
click is nothing.
Yeah.
For cyclists.
It's like at least
Right.
80 to 90 maybe.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
if-
do a lot.
If they're
Yeah.
out in the morning, maybe at least 50.
Minimum.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's insane. And because I know so many people, obviously I want them to be safe and I want them to be able to enjoy the roads as I do when I'm driving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
it's crazy. I mean, I'm thinking about East Coast Park. They've already made dedicated cycling paths. and dedicated walking paths.
Yep.
And then
Nobody
you
follows
still
it.
have people that
Mixing it
you
up.
know,
Yeah.
mixing it
Yeah.
up and then having no regard for anyone else on the pathway, and it's just
Yeah.
disrespectful.
And let's not forget our senior citizens who like to
Yeah.
take their nice morning walks there or evening
Yes.
walks and all that. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, we've got to
Yeah.
think about them as well. You know,
And they don't slow down, you know. You'll see like the older people crossing the pathway, and you'll just see these bicycles like going past them, which is awful.
yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe the fine needs to be in place. Maybe the fine needs to be in place just to please the public, please the drivers that, okay, we have raised from 75 to 150.
But those fines are only for the roads. They're not for those, you know, like the East Coast
Yeah.
Park and stuff like
I
that,
guess.
you know.
Small
I
wins.
guess.
If you
lah.
stick
Everything
to
is
a
small
certain...
wins.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
You know,
Next week we'll be talking about a different.
There
fine.
should be more people. We can have like safety distancing officers all over the place. We should
Yeah.
also have some of these officers. I mean, for the East Coast Parkway,
Yeah.
right? Just to make sure that rangers or whoever.
Yeah,
That I
Rangers
agree
would be a good idea, yeah. Something from N Parks where they're just there.
We can't win, man. We can't
Yeah.
stop this thing. We can't win. I mean,
Yeah.
this is just everyone needs to play their part.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to play their part. Drivers, pedestrians, cyclists, we all need to play our part. Just be a little bit cautious. Just be mindful that you are not the only person on the road. There are a lot of other people on the road as well. Be more cautious when you are approaching, especially bends and blind spots, blind corners. Don't do anything dangerous and foolish. That would be. I mean, you could break someone's neck.
Right.
That'll be
Don't know.
stupid.
But you know,
You're
I
allowed
just
to
want to
say
say that these people who cycle on a daily basis out there, they're really brave. They're extremely brave. I mean, one of the reasons I never
could
aspired
never.
to get a motorbike license is because, you know, you never know whether, you know, you're going to survive the trip or not, right?
True.
Yeah.
Because nothing
It's-
protects you on a bike. Yeah.
It's even
Yeah.
worse. You know, we're
Yeah.
talking about bicycles here.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how tiring it is?
What?
With all the undulations and you're constantly just pedaling and
That's why
not
they call it
exercise.
exercising.
it's crazy, man. I mean, I exercise every morning, but
It's different out there on the
it's
roads.
crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Passion is one thing, but I mean, this is out of my league.
Yeah.
This is out of my league. But then again, I've got no passion for cycling to begin with. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ball breaking stuff, man. Let me just tell you.
Do you know what ball breaking stuff is? Man U losing to Liverpool.
Oh, no, you had to
That's
bring it
all
up.
good.
You start. I want to wrap up your stuff.
You had to bring it up. Okay, guys, it's 9:02.
Okay.
right.
All right. Julian, thank you so very much. Is there anything we can look out for on SG Karmat's website?
Yes. Please continue to look out for our social media. It's becoming bigger. It's something that we're focusing now because that's the platform that leads us to more of the different articles and automotive related information. So again, you can follow us at SG Karmat or TikTok at SG Karmat. It's essentially the same. Or you can follow my Instagram and TikTok as well. It's julian.co and julian.k. Oh no, wait a minute. It's Julian K, I think.
It's something. Julian
K.
something, something.
Yes, yes.
You're fine. You just search. Yes.
Okay, Julian. Thank you so much.
Thank
We've been talking
you.
to the editor of SG Karmat, Julian Ko. Thanks so much. Have a
Thanks
great
so much,
week
guys.
ahead.
You too,
care,
man. See you
Julian.
guys next
Bye.
week.
Take care.
Have a good one. Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Everyone, share the video.